Just pristine raw copies of that. Hi, I'm Dave, owner of Future Past Vintage Collectibles. This is my daughter Rachel.
Hello.
And today we have a few things to talk about. I'm going to go through some books in a collection that I bought. And we just got back from Frankenstein.
We did.
Yeah, Frankenstein was in Portland, Oregon. And it's a twice a year, one-day show. It's been around for a long time. It's moved. It's our first time going.
It was really cool. It was in like an empty H&M building. I'm actually going to show a video
In
while
a
we're
mall.
talking. Yeah, in a mall. So I'll show a video of like what it looked like in there.
Downtown Portland.
It's pretty cool. I'd never seen anything like it before. It was interesting.
I like the mall, first of all. I like the ice skating rink. I thought it was very nice.
It was at the Lloyd Center Mall in Portland.
Yeah, there was plenty of parking and those types of things that people think about. I was most surprised by the amount of people selling comic books.
It was a lot. I think 100 vendors.
Over 100 tables. I had two, so there was probably 75 vendors. There was a couple with more than one table.
If you've ever been to an H&M, it's 2 floors, so there are 2 floors of dealers.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
There was people just selling their collections. There was people, comic dealers like me and other people, local. And just a lot of one shot, like we're just going to show up this one time. So I really dug it. I thought that we didn't have a lot of time to look through everything because we were busy selling comic books. But
yeah, we did buy some stuff, but not really that much.
I bought a couple books. Maybe we'll show later. Nothing special.
Yeah, if you're interested in seeing what we got at that convention, let us know. I know we showed some stuff before.
Did some trades. It was fun. I mean, it was a good comic show. It was a good expenditure of our energy. And then I met with a friend to pick up this collection of books that I have that we're going to talk about. Before I get into this, anything else you want to bring up before we start looking through these?
Yeah, so later on in the video, we actually have a giveaway, and it's like a special giveaway. It's one that we've never done before, so stay tuned.
It's different. You'll like it.
And we'll announce that later in the video.
You will like it.
It's cool.
All right, real quick, I want to talk about my process, and that's kind of what this is about. It's about someone who sells comic books for a living, also collects comic books, and how I approach things. I don't buy every collection. There are collections I probably wouldn't be interested in, mostly on condition and how much it is. So I don't mind spending more than other people do on the collections I do buy. Most of my books are not 50-cent books that I bought.
Right.
I spent dollars each on the majority of books in here. Because they're really high grade. I don't mind spending money on comic books. I'm not coming up with that $50 a long box weird number for anybody, because chances are, if it's a $50 long box, I'm not interested in what's in it. So if I'm interested, I pay for them because I want to make sure, A, to secure the books, B, to have the kind of books that we can reach into a very deep backstock and have high grade examples of just about everything.
Which we do.
And
I think that's why you focus on buying collections, because there's keys in collections.
I like original owner collections because I really like the idea of only one person having that book. I also like the idea that they haven't been in boxes in conventions or a comic book store. In many of the cases when it comes to the bronze and stuff that I really focus on. So keep that in mind as I'm going through this box. I probably buy things that other people don't even care about. But my goal is to provide my customer any back issue between 1969 and 1985 at some point in really high grade.
Yeah.
So I'm really focused on bronze and copper. So let's talk about books.
Yeah, so you bought these right after Frankenstein. This is not a single owner collection, correct?
Yes and no. So I got this from a dealer. However, there was a collection this dealer bought that I picked up about 700 issues, and I know this person's books as soon as I look at them, the way they are. So they remind me of the Monterey collection in the terms of they're in unread shape. Challenge there is that, like the Monterey collection, a collection I bought heavily in the 80s, that was a pristine Bronze Age collection, is that both collections were kept in bags and not boards. These were kept in boxes. The Monterey collection was kept flat.
I've noticed that unbagged books are sometimes the best quality. I've noticed that.
It's an interesting phenomenon. I can tell you that if I put a book in a bag and a board, there's so many other variables that can happen. Slumping in the box, dropping a comic, which is really rare. Except
Not if you're me.
Yeah, I dropped like 15 at one time this week. I had to walk away from it. If I have a 9.6 in my box, chances are there's going to be multiple boards on that book. Someone who's looking at a comic and starts touching it, it can really impact a high-grade book. So there's things that you can do in the bag to help protect them. The tighter it is without being tight on the corners, but being tight on the book itself, can help stop some of that. Another thing is a 4 milliliter bag, which are really expensive. That can really put the kibosh on somebody putting finger impressions on a book.
Yeah.
As someone who cleans and presses comic books, I can tell you that fingernail indentations are tough.
That's a whole other thing. Let's look at some books.
Yeah, let's do it. Not a big deal. This is the first appearance of Machine Man. I personally love Machine Man, like Jack Kirby, like what was going on in this era. So I really do like this era. I like Jack Kirby. I have a lot of copies of this. This is like an 8.0. However, if I choose to press this, it'll get up in the 9s, 9.2 to 9.4. So I always pick up copies. And one thing I'm not going to do is go over how much I spent on this.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, it wasn't cheap and it wasn't astronomical. But I'm not spending like GPA on raw books. So flash through some of these real quick.
Okay.
Anytime there's lots of Spider-Man, and I chose to get that, and I have more, and we'll stop on this one. This book, I was really kind of hoping it'd be a little higher grade than it is. It's probably sitting at an 8.0 or an 8.5, and I think I could press this. It would have a benefit, but not into, 9.4 or 9.6. So this is the origin of El Diablo. This entire series, I really have never owned it, and I want to. So the Neil Adams covers, that is. And anyway, I picked this up. Glad to have it. It'll probably be for sale at some point. If it was a 9.6 or a possible 9.8, that's a keeper for me. Not that I don't like the book. It's just I'm really picky sometimes. What else did I give you in that stack?
This one is Booster Gold #1.
Yeah. So this book's super hot right now. It's got a really light corner fold on the right front cover top.
You can actually see it, yeah.
Very light, but other than that, the book's really nice. So it's probably at like a very fine near mint. Glad to have it.
This is another Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, this part of the Spider-Man run in the 100s, 200s, I like them. I like them in high grade. I'll pick them up in any grade, but I really like to have a selection of these. You can just rifle through those real fast. Yeah.
I'll show these both. They look really nice.
Stuff like that. I got a couple of copies of this Batman. Anytime I can get this era of Batman in high grade, I definitely pick it up.
Those are so cool. Two-Face. And then there's this one, Bane.
So
I've given those away before.
There's a super nice copy of this. Happy to get it.
This is Black Knight #1.
It was very hot for a while, and now it's not. And this is a newsstand. So a later book with a newsstand. This is a nice copy. Anyway, I got the #1 from this on the last time I bought them. I already slabbed it and sold it.
It's Champions.
So this is the Champions from the early 70s. The thing I like about this run, it's not expensive. People really aren't running after these. There's a lot out there. Still nice to have them very high grade. The thing I like about them, they all have Ghost Rider in them. So I think that it's a great add-on to when the first Ghost Rider series was out. This was also coming out. So picked up a ton of these. I wouldn't call these very high grade. They're more on the high mid. I think some have an opportunity for improvement through a clean and press. I doubt I would. These are the kind of things I just put away. But like I said, I really like to have a backstock of 9.2 and up, 9.6, 9.8 in this era. So I'll keep looking, and I'll, if I could improve some, I would, because people prefer that in their collection. Got these Dazzlers. There's a whole run, mostly because I don't have any, and some are in high grade. Some are like 8.5s, 9.0s. For me in this era, I really like, I like that Doom cover. Show that Doom cover.
Is that Doom? I was just looking at it through the camera and I was shocked.
Yeah, the next one's also a Doom cover. Anyway, pretty inexpensive series, but like I said, I really like to have the back issues, and I didn't on that particular series.
And we have a whole stack of those. All of these are Dazzlers.
Yeah, I have the #1 upstairs, so.
I think we had 2 at one point of the #1.
Yeah, and like I said, these aren't things I'm telling anyone that I think you should be specking on. That's not what this is about. This is just cool comics from my era that I really like. Got a bunch of Defenders. So I already have some. I love these in high grade. Just to have in my backstock for high grade back issues. So they don't have to be a key for me. I like having the keys, but that's not the most important. There's nothing like wanting a book and you can't find a good copy and you end up settling, and there's a bit of a gap in the market for people that will actually have these available in high grade instead of being very fine. Tons of Doctor Strange. There's some very nice copies in here, and some would just need some work. No beaters in the bunch. Actually, there's no beaters in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything's, high mid-grade to high grade. There's some 9/8s sitting in here raw.
So many.
I picked up the whole ElfQuest series. This is that part of the collection that came from a owner bought collection, and they were so nice. Some of them I had to press to get nice, and they aren't expensive. We had someone at one of the shows we went to pick up every
All
issue
of
we
them.
had. I got some Fantastic Fours. That's probably an 8.5 newsstand. Had a lot of issues of this, but I actually love this John Byrne cover with Galactus on it. I think everyone who likes Galactus or Fantastic Four, they want this book. So it's nice to have copies of it. I really like this in super high grade. I like the white. I like odd books. There was a sticker book, and I almost bought it, but it's like I'm really trying to watch what I buy. But it was a Spider-Man Secret Wars sticker book. Sick.
And this is a puzzle book, which is cool.
Yeah. That's Get Smart number 1, 1966. How many are on the census?
22. The
Hi-
highest graded is 9.6. There's only one.
Yep.
So
this book's probably a 7580 the way it sits.
there's almost no GPA data on it either because it just doesn't sell very often.
And it's a highly improvable copy. I think I can get it up there maybe to 9. Happy to have it. I love this era. I like these types of books, especially the number ones.
We don't have a lot of those types of books.
Not yet. Working slowly, starting to chip into Dell's. I have some other ones later in the box, some interesting books that I'm probably the only person that likes. And I actually have I think it's a 4-part series. No,
It is, but we don't have the number 2.
we don't have number 2. I have at least one more set of this that's super high grade, but I dig these. I dig this era. I like these types of mini series. They're not the most popular things in the world, but
Oh, that's a really cool cover.
yeah, the black one.
Yeah.
He had a stack of grooves. At first, I wasn't that interested. He made me a deal that I wanted, that I thought was fair. Especially the fact that there are raw 9/8s in this, so these are super nice. They're not that expensive, but this is the miniseries.
Yeah, this is the key.
But he had a long-running series. Actually, I never told you. Danny had written in, and his comment is in Gru the Wanderer, the next series.
Oh, that's cool.
His comment, he told me, was he wanted them to cancel the series because he really wanted to get all the back issues, and he was tired of chasing them. And they printed it in their letter section.
That's really funny.
Anyway, this miniseries is pretty cool. These books are great. They're just in such high grade, and they're so bouncy. White pages look like brand new. So notice I'm not going over like the typical hot stuff. That's not even what I'm that attracted to. I'm going to switch to another box.
Yeah.
Real quick, whenever I use old boxes that look like this, they're single cardboard and they have like a folding piece on the inside and it creates a rib. What I do is on the first book, put it backwards. And the reason I do that is if the cardboard is to hit, it hits here instead of directly on paper. The goal is to keep your box as full as possible. If pressure happens here, it can still create a spine tick over time, especially with any shifting. So I've been doing that since I can remember. Now, today we buy boxes that don't have this.
Yeah, they're super like durable.
Yeah,
Flat.
they fold up on the inside all the way, so that wall is completely flat, and we don't have to worry about it anymore.
It's Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini boxes are
That's what we use.
fantastic. Here you go.
All right, here is the Gru's number 1, the Marvel series.
This got up to like $300 last year, and it's dropped since then because there was some kind of spec and it was announced. But I got almost the entire run, or big chunks of it, and they're all like just minty as can be. I love it. So I typically am not interested in Gru because Gru's not an incredibly popular series. But like I said, what do I want? Really high grade back issues. I don't care if it was popular or not.
Well, and if someone finds them, like there was a guy who bought a bunch of our trade paperbacks that we had. He bought all of them.
The Grus?
Yeah, all the Grus. So I feel like when people buy them or like them, they buy all the ones they can find because they're hard to find.
And that's what it is, and I've been like that. You don't have to show them all. You can fan them out, although the first covers are cool. This is a spoof of Conan, you guys, and Sergio Argenis is the artist here, and who I knew from Mad Magazine and some other stuff he did earlier. But tons of them. Like literally handfuls and handfuls.
Slumps and slumps.
Half of a short box. Anyway, Happy to have them in super high grade, and I don't think I had 10 issues. I mean, I had those trade paperbacks.
Yeah, that was all we had, and we got it from the same person.
Same collection. There was more of these, but we were kind of done with what we were doing. I want to pick up others. I like to pick as many Ghost Riders up as I can from this era if they're high grade, and just start putting together the back issues.
Oh, that one's cool.
For a later date.
I mean, all of them are cool.
There would be nothing like if you collected these, picking up a bunch of 9.6s. Don't laugh at me. Any high grade Howard the Duck I can pick up, I find. I don't care what issue. I'm not looking to get multiple. I just would like all of them in high grade for nostalgic reasons, if nothing else. I do have a number 1, which I just bought because I want it. I like Howard the Duck. Got a bunch of Hulks. Anytime I can get, early Bronze Age Hulks, I do. And these first couple are. This one's in higher grade than the last. It's probably an 8.5. But yeah, I just keep putting them together. Haven't really put them out there for sale yet. And that's one of the things. I've been at this for about 2.5 years, and I haven't offered 95% of what I have for sale. Because now it's about me processing them in, make sure they're all the grade I want them to be, and then I'll put them out there. It's kind of frustrating, too, if you're looking to get a run together, and I have 10 that are processed and 200 in storage, and all of a sudden you can't get what you wanted. Anyway, I have a bunch more Hulks. I'm not going to go over them all. 90s, I think it came out in 88, actually. Infinity Gauntlet number 1, love every copy of that, and I got a couple issues.
Oh, Invaders.
Yeah. I like the Invaders, and then Justice League. I got a couple of copies of Justice League 1 from 88, if I remember right off the top of my head. Super bad with dates, so don't ever hold me to that.
I mean, you're always pretty close.
I don't know.
You're at least in the decade you need to be in,
If you can't do that, you got problems. I got some Marvel premieres I'm not even going to show. They're the issues that are in the late 30s, early 40s, and they're the kind of off-character ones. Yep. Masters of the Universe, newsstand. Last copy I had was not newsstand. Mm-hmm. And that's a nice copy.
And the Marvel Superhero Secret
Wars. And I got doubles of most of that except for the number 6. I have a bunch of Marvel Superhero Secret Wars in this. I got 2 issues of maybe 3/4 of the run.
Yeah.
I just put them away. I mean, eventually I'll put them in inventory.
Before we look at the last box of books that we just bought, let's do our special giveaway. Are you ready?
I am.
So a company called Comic Shell reached out to us to see if we wanted to try their product. So they actually sent us one to test out, and they gave us one to give away to you guys. So we're going to tell you a little bit about it. They didn't pay us to do it. They just gave us the
product. They didn't even tell us to tell you all about it.
They just said, shout us out. But it's a shell that holds either 2 slabs. It also can hold 8 top loaders or 14 raw books with bags and boards or 8 magazines. So yeah, it has 2 pockets.
Boom. Every one of them comes with that.
I wouldn't say that. Here, I'm going to put this up so that...
And then, boom. They'll come with one of these too.
But it says that they are durable and water-resistant exteriors. And yeah, it's super nice. They retail for $35. So this is what you are able to win. It's one of the cases. And if you want to be entered to win this, all you have to do is like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. And we will announce the winner the next time we post a video.
That's shipping and everything right to your door.
Yes, and thanks Comic Shell for sending us these.
Yeah, they're nice. Cool. I like that. Like you would put into a backpack or put into a briefcase. It doesn't have a handle on it. It's not meant for that, but
it's like not very heavy.
What the difference is, a lot of people like me, I'll have a backpack on and I'll put them in the backpack. The thing about it is, if you end up leaning against something or one of the slabs doesn't have a sleeve on it, whatever, they start getting scratched. That's the advantage to having something like that.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks again. And if you want to be entered, just like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll announce it next week. Hooray!
Yeah, so got a stack of these, and I have almost the entire run. And really, we're not going to go through a bunch, but the number 6 is a key. It's a first Beta Ray Bill, and that one has a little heat on them. These are all super nice. Yeah, and that one's also a bit of a key because it has Jim Shooter and Stan Lee on the cover and a cartoony, fun little...
And I just like this cover because it's Wolverine.
It's woolly. I picked up some more of these. I've got a pretty solid back stock of these. I've never really put them out there for sale more than a couple issues at a time. Some of these covers are great. I've put together, I'd say, except the, first appearance and everything, I've sold those along the way, but I have a ton of them. And here's another thing I have a lot of, but I'm picking up a lot of raws now, are the first Moon Knight series. Just put them in the back stock. I like them. I liked them before they were hot. I like the cover art on these. Some of the covers I think are exceptional. These all have Bill Sienkiewicz covers, and not all of them, but the coolest ones do. I dig them, man. I've always liked them. I also, I like the Mark Spector Moon Knights. I like the storyline, like that particular run, so if I can pick some of those up.
It's got Ghost Rider.
Kind of usual suspects.
And Punisher. That's cool.
Getting a little later now. And I got this, he had a Marvel Age #1. That's super thin. I think it's 6 pages. I mean, it's really thin. It's more like a...
It doesn't feel like a comic.
Back to the Bronze Age. So I've had a lot of these. I've slabbed a lot of these. Had 9/8, blah, 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 throughout the last couple of years. Always pick up Miss Marvels. If they're the right price, right condition, all of that.
So many.
Yep. And OMAC #1 all day long. That one is not as white as I like them, and there's not a lot I can do with that.
We've shown some like whiter ones.
I don't when I clean and press. I don't use ultraviolet. I don't use liquid detergents and things like that. I've tried all that, and I'm going to kick it old school. I even wrote on the back, stain on the back cover. So
and the front cover.
Such a nice copy. It's just age, man, with something that stark and white.
Yeah.
By the way, I love any miniseries like these. And I have tons of this kind of stuff. Not popular, not hot. I don't care. That's not why I buy things. Actually, I'm the opposite. If it is popular and hot, I kind of stay away from it.
They get too expensive.
I'll wait till they're not, It's really a patience game for me. But along the way, 2 just pristine raw copies of that. I actually couldn't believe how nice those were. And 2 of these. Just perfect. Super nice. Only thing that'd make them better is if they were newsstand. Yeah, so I dug that. I've had a bunch of copies of this Venom, and I've sold it. This was up to $300 at one point.
That's crazy.
There was a variant of that is a black cover. It didn't, I guess the tinfoil or whatever that is on the cover didn't take, so it's black. That one is like a variant that's worth a lot more than the others. I got a whole set of the Visions. I got another partial set of these. I have a lot of these. And I like them when they're high grade.
They're cool.
Yeah, that's good. I like high grade what ifs. Pretty common. Less common in high grade. And then last but not least, I've never had that. I was glad that it was in the box. I would say it's a 9.0. But it's still... It's the first Apocalypse. First cameo Apocalypse. I'm glad to have it. I have so many X Factor, and I just never had that issue. So
cool.
That's kind of it.
That's what we got.
I have some other books I want to show, and we'll do it in a later episode. I haven't shown 95% of what we got. I only talk about particular books, but we do have some very obscure stuff. I have full runs of some things, or partial runs, like first 50 issues, that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
Not because they're so rare, it's just that they're hard to put together. Maybe because they weren't that popular for whatever reason. But I'll show some of those in a future video.
Yeah.
So you guys can kind of just watch some other books that are not like in the top 10. I don't think I showed a top 10 book. I think that's it.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to be entered for the giveaway from Comic Shell. Also, follow us over on Instagram. We do live sales every other week. We might start doing them every week. Trying to figure that out.
We're going to do more.
We have some really, really good deals on our claim sales that we don't offer anywhere else.
And books that I don't offer anywhere else.
Yes.
I will only sell some of my books in the claim sale. There's a group of people that are already showing up, and we get a lot of calls after the show. Hey, did you sell that? I was at work. I couldn't, I couldn't watch the whole thing. So I love that. I those are the kinds of relationships that we want. We want to have relationships with people. We want them to see our books. We get excited when we sell them. Yeah.
They're on Mondays from 5 to 7 p.m. PST. Right now, every other week. Potentially every week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
Check it out.
Cool. That's it.
Go ahead and get an Instagram account. It won't
Yeah,
kill
just
you.
do it.
I'm probably older than you. If I can do it, you can do it.
Thanks, guys.
Hasta la vista.
Goodbye.